Hey guys, you're welcome to my channel. So today we're going to making this stylish A-line gown, and I'll make use of 3 yards of vintage fabric. Yes, my name is Fatima A. Yusuf, and on this platform I share sewing tutorials. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. So let's just get straight into it. So these are the things you'll be needing, the basic ones. So I have my bias, my thread, my chalk, my ruler, your tape, measuring tape, and then your fabric. Also your sewing machine. So my fabric is a vintage fabric and I have 3 yards here. So I'm going to remove half yard for the sleeve. So I'll be using 2.5 yard for the body. I'm going to go ahead and fold my fabric the way I normally do. Join two hands and then join two hands together. So that means you have two folds and you have 4 layers, right? I'll make use of the full length of the fabric. Although it was still short for me because my full length is 60 and the fabric comes in 60. I know I'll hem and stitch, so basically it won't go down for me, but it's all good. So first thing, I'll go ahead and impute my shoulder measurement divided by 2. Then from my shoulder downward, I'm going to mark 9 inches. That 9 inches is for it will serve as my bust line and my armhole line. You can tend to use anyone you want. Then I'll go down to 16 inches. That'll be for my waistline, right? And that's what we're marking out here. So I'm going to extend those lines, the 9 inches and the 16 inches, right? So on that my 9 inches, I'll also impute my shoulder divided by 2, and I'll join the 2 points together like this with a straight line. Good. Mark a different neckline length and then mark your bust line differently. So on this other side, I'm going to mark out my neckline 3.5 by 3.5 inches, and I'll form a round neckline. You can use V neckline for the front, round neckline for the back. You can use any type of neckline of your choice. You can use that. So now I'm going to mark 1 inch at that part. That will be for my shoulder slope. So I'll just use a slant line to join it to meet the width of my neckline like this, right? Good. So now on the bust line, that 9 inches line, right, I'm going to put my bust divided by 4. I'm going to add allowance to it. So I'm going to go ahead and mark my bust divided by 4 here, and then I'll be adding 3 inches allowance. You can add 4, 5, depends on how free you want the A-line gown to be. Added 3 to mine. So I'll go over to the waistline, impute my waist divided by 4, and I'm going to add 3 inches allowance. The allowance depends on how wide, how free you want it to be. You can use 4, you can use 5. From there, so I'll join the 2 points together first, like this. You use a slant line to join the 2 points together. After joining the 2 points together, I'm just going to form a armhole curve. I'm using the same thing for both back and front in this case. After doing that, I'm going to take my tape rule. If you have a longer ruler, please make do with it. Use it in this case. So from down my waistline, I'll take a slant line down to meet the end of the fabric like this, and I'll just line it, mark it out. And after marking out, this is what I have. All right. So I'll just measure the length. It's 60, and basically it's going to be short. It was short for me, but it was manageable. So I'll just go ahead and cut the neck area, then cut the shoulder slope part, then I'll cut the armhole part, and then I'll cut the bodies. So we're cutting both back and front together. There's no zip. Yeah, we are cutting it together. So after cutting the sides, I'm going to go down to the end of the fabric. I'm going to mark 1.5 at this end, 1.5 inches, and I'll form a curve, and I'll cut out that part out so you can have equal length by the down part, right? So after doing this, I'm going to measure the armhole, what I have on the armhole, right? So I can cut out the sleeve for the gown. So after measuring what I have, right, I'm going to pack this up, and then that half inch that I removed at first, I'm going to fold it, give it 2 folds. I have 4 layers. That's for 2 sleeves, right? And I'm going to measure out the dimensions I want. I added about 2 inches to the measurement that I got when I measured the sleeve area. So the length I'll be using is 18 and the width is 13. So that's what I'm going to be using. Yeah, so I'll just go down from one side, the part that is not closed, I'll mark 3 inches, And now for my S curve, right? That's for your sleeve. So I'll just go ahead and form my S curve like this using freehand. Yeah. So after doing that, this other side that is fully closed, I want it to be, I don't want the two sides to be equal at the down part, right? I want to form a slant line. So I'll measure where I want to cut out at this close part. So I'll measure 13 inches, then I increased it later on. So I measured 15 inches, right? That was what I measured. So I'm taking out 3 inches. So I'll now take my tape from that 15 to the other side with a slant line like this, and I'll cut that off. All right. So that's what I'm going to be doing for the sleeve. So I'll just cut out the sleeve, and our sleeve is ready. So after doing the sleeve part, right, I'm going to notch the middle. You need to notch the middle. It's going to help when you're stitching your sleeve to your gown. Make sure you notch the middle of your sleeve area. So let me open up. This is what we have. You see how the sleeves look like. Yeah. So it's not straight underneath it is not straight. So this is it. So after cutting out our sleeve, the next thing now is I'm going to go ahead to my sewing machine first. I'm going to join the shoulders together, right? I'll join the shoulders together and I'll use bias to tape my neckline. You can cut out an interface for the neckline. It's also good. Yeah. So I'll just place my start stitching my clothes with my sewing machine. So now I'm just biasing the neckline the way you normally do bias your neckline. You do that. So after biasing my neckline, the next thing I'll be doing is stitching the sleeve to the body. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So after you're done joining the shoulders, biasing your neckline, so you're going to open up your sleeve area like this, and then you place your cutout sleeve on it. That was why you need to notch the midpoint, so that the midpoint and your shoulder line can align. So I'll place it right face facing right face, and from the middle point I'm going to stitch to the left, and from middle point I'm going to stitch to the right. You're going to see it when I'm done stitching. You see, it's stitching that direction. So this was it after stitching. You know, I told you guys I left allowance. I added allowance when I was cutting out the sleeve because of this. So I'm going to show you what I will do. So I'm going to fold it like this. And then I'm going to place my tape from where my sleeve my armhole stops, and I'll use a slant line to take it to meet the other end of the sleeve like this. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'll just cut it out. So I'll do same thing for the other sleeve also, right? So this is what I'm going to cut out. So after doing that for both sleeves, right? So next thing I'm going to take out the pieces that will cut out from the bodies. I'm going to measure the down part of my sleeve so I can know what I have. After measuring what I have under my sleeve, right, I'm going to take out that pieces that we cut out from the bodies. I'm going to take the one that is splitted. I'm going to trim it, and then I'll fold it in such a way that I'm sure that I'm going to get the desired length and width I want for my pleats for the sleeve. So I'm going to cut it out. So if you're having two layers, and then that's one for each, and it's going to be folded, so I'm just going to separate it for you guys to see. So this is what I have. So it's two inside, and I'm going to fold each. So that was what I'm going to be using to form my pleats around the sleeve area. For the length, you make sure if you'll be able to get times 2 of what you measured underneath your sleeve. Then for the width, you make sure you have like maybe 2.5 or 3, depends on the sleeve length you are aiming at. Mine was 18 initially, but I added 2.5, and basically I'll be ending with 20 inches. That will be for the sleeve length after I'm done stitching. Just go ahead to my sewing machine, and I'm going to pleat. I don't like measure my pleats, but you can measure if you want to, but me, I just go ahead and just do it like this. So I'll do the same thing for the other sleeve also, and we're done with splitting. So I already made this rope, this strand, and I'll divide it into two, right? You just stitch it like you're stitching bias, you don't need to stitch and turn anything. So I have 9 inches, that's the length. I'll divide it into two, so I'll be having 4.5 for each. So this is what I'm going to use for the rope straps that will be around the waist area where your belt will pass through. I can actually make this dress without the belts. It's going to be fine. So I'll just place the strap inside my piece like this. You fold it, and then it should be in between your bodies, your fabric. That's you like sandwiching it, making sure that the folded this thing is outside is on the right face. So I stitch in this direction for my sleeve downward like this to the end. I hem to the down parts. I stitch the two sides. Then afterwards I hem the down parts, and I also made a rope. That's it over there. I was able to video the process, but guys, this was the final results without the rope, and then you're going to see it with the rope. And if this video has been helpful in one way or the other, like I always say, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, drop your comment, turn on your notification bell, and I'm going to see you guys in another video. Bye guys.